is fun. And you know, Mike, what's the story you always tell about how many, everybody thinks, oh, I'm not a coin collector.
Right. And I go, hey, you know, they go, oh, I'm not a coin collector.
I don't do that.
Well, you just got back from Europe? Yeah. Do you have any coins from where you've, yeah. You're a coin collector.
Oh, darn it. It really is a lot of fun. We're going to jump into the pre-Civil War large cent and the 2-cent set. I have never presented this with you, Mike, so I can't wait to hear the story on this, but $89.95 seems affordable, along with the 3 flexible payments of $29.98.
Look at the date on that, would you? 1851. Almost all the large cents that we have in this particular collection, as a matter of fact, all of them, are pre-Civil War.
Okay.
Our pre-Civil War, okay, is what this was. So these are 1840s, 1850s. This is how big a penny, if you want to know about inflation, this is how big a penny used to be. That used to be 1 cent's worth of copper right there. And if you look at that, look at the size of it. Yes, absolutely. 1 cent, United States of America. It's every bit the size of a quarter. It's actually a little bit bigger than a quarter, a little bit smaller than a $50. That is a 100% original, not reprinted, restruck, or redone United States government issue large cent. Right after this, in 1857, they started making what are called the Flying Eagle cents, which are down to the size of the penny that we know today, or the cent that we know today.
So they downsized them.
So they downsized, sure, well, because copper, all of a sudden, this was more than a penny's worth of copper. So they were making a cent, people were just melting them down and selling it back to them for more than a penny.
Oh.
That's illegal to do these days, by the way. Copper is worth more than the 1 cent that's in a Lincoln cent, but by law, you're not allowed to melt them. So what you've got is the large cent. Very interesting, very collectible, very desirable. But the real coin, I think, in this collection is the 2-cent piece. Now, I know we call this pre-Civil War. This is actually contemporaneous to the Civil War. It's before the end of the Civil War, so that's why we're calling it that.
Okay.
If you look right there in the banner, right up there in the banner, and you can see that one's 1864. You see something that you're used to seeing on coins. It says, "In God We Trust." This is the very first United States coin that has the motto, "In God We Trust." Prior to this, not a single American coin, a single United States coin ever had the motto, "In God We Trust."
Really?
This is the very first coin with that motto. Now, by law, every coin larger than a dime must bear the motto, "In God We Trust."
Right.
Okay?
And what year was that?
This is 1864.
1864.
So they
that
figured,
was the first...
that's right, they figured the Civil War, okay, so you had the Civil War, and the country needed a little healing, okay? So we decided, "In God We Trust," to make that healing. The other thing was, there was no coins left. People had hoarded all of the gold and silver and copper that were out there. So that's why they made a coin that was double the money at 2 cents and even less of the copper, hoping people would not hoard the copper. Plus, that was the cost of a stamp back then, was 2 cents. So that was a functional...
What are we up to now?
It was a functional, I don't know, 40? Forever stamps are $14 or something. I think they're 43 cents or something. Well, I still think the greatest bargain on the planet is still mailing a letter and sending it basically anywhere in the United States for less than 50 cents.
That's really good.
I mean,
I'll send you a letter, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And look at that right there, 2-cent piece. People go, 2-cent piece? Yeah, and that's what they did. I think it was last made in 1877, as I recall, the 2-cent piece. Ours are all like 1864. I think almost every one of ours is 1864 that you're going to have. Pre-Civil War large, oh, I see what you're saying, pre-Civil War large cent, and then the 2-cent, which is contemporaneous to the Civil War, that you're going to have. So the very first coin that ever has the motto, "In God We Trust," which is in the ribbon right up there, a United States large cent that you're going to have right there, a coin of a bygone era. The amazing part to me is I can give you these 2 coins that are both 150 years old at least, okay, a century and a half. That's not $89.95 a piece. It's not 189 or 200. It's 45 bucks a coin. $45 a coin for phenomenal, incredible American history right there in a 2-coin set that have not been reprinted, restruck, or redone in any way, shape, or form. You get them right there, the pair for $89.95.
Mike, we couldn't bring in many